Hello and welcome to the first inaugural episode of Show Legal with Sagar Dutta. Today we are here. We are extremely fortunate and grateful to have with us none other than the stalwart of legal fraternity, Bar at Law Senior Advocate Anindya Kumar Mitra, who is the former Additional Solicitor General of India, also former Advocate General of State of West Bengal. Sir, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for this get together.
Sir, for the convenience of the audience, with your permission, if we can do this interview in Bengali and English.
All right, Bengali is our mother language.
Yes, sir.
And we Bengali speak Bengali mixed with English.
Right, sir.
Pure Bengali we don't speak. So go as you like, whatever.
Sir, thank you so much এই অপরচুনিটির জন্য স্যার। স্যার আপনার পারমিশন নিয়ে স্যার আমরা যদি একটু আপনার ফর্মেটিভ আপনার আর্লি ডেজে আমরা যদি যেতে পারি এবং আপনি যদি আমাদেরকে জানান স্যার আপনার শুরু কোথা থেকে হয়েছিল, আপনার স্কুলিং কোথায় হয়েছিল, আপনি জন্মেছিলেন কোথায়, আপনার একটু ফর্মেটিভ ইয়ার্সে আমাদের যদি নিয়ে যান।
আমি কলকাতাতেই জন্মেছি। আমি বলে নয়, আমার সাত পুরুষ কলকাতা।
আচ্ছা স্যার।
আমি কলকাতায় লেখাপড়া করেছি, প্রেসিডেন্ট কলেজ থেকে বিএ পাস করেছি অনার্স নিয়ে। তারপরে চলে গেছি লিঙ্কন সিন লন্ডনে। লিঙ্কন সিন থেকে Honorable Society of Lincoln Inn called me to bar in June 1959. Systemটা কি ছিল জানো? Your system was the treasurer of Lincoln Inn, then Justice Roxburgh, he called to bar all the students who are eligible to be called to bar upon passing the bar examination, and he alone called perhaps I don't remember, maybe 25 students.
Okay, sir.
All over the world, particularly Commonwealth country. Students coming from all Commonwealth countries. We have students from Cyprus, Africa, Singapore, and all other countries. I believe about 20 students during that session was eligible to be called to bar, and Justice Roxburgh personally handed over our degree or certificate, and we were elevated to the barrister's table. Dining has been a tradition of the bar, you know. Why it is so? And why this is called inn? If you study development of English common law, which is formidable part of English law in 18th century or 17th century, because statutory law was very meager at that time. Common law is the law for the common people, as it understood by the common people. For example, that one person feels that his house is being damaged and the peace of the people, of inhabitants of the house are being disturbed by smoke which is emitted by the next house. So he come to court, and a judge, appointed by the king, upon hearing both, give a judgment. So after judgment delivered, they come to inn for their lunch, or as we used to call in those days, dinner, of course.
Because lunch time mein jeta hoto setai dinner.
Dinner bolte for one meal. They discuss what the judges said, what judges laid down as law regarding emission of smoke, namely law of nuisance, which has been laid down. With that discussion, the people, students and whoever there, learn the law. Next matter, if similar matter comes up, they will cite this precedent as a law of nuisance. And that's how English common law developed.
Okay. And sir, do we follow that in India still today?
in India, unfortunately, Indian law has got two separate chapters, dichotomy. Law of India, as it was before introduction, or if I may say invasion of English jurisprudence. Please don't think that India didn't have the legal system before the Britishers came. Please don't think that the rule of law and order was taught to us by the British people. We knew it. We had a system of judiciary, quite effective. But we are made to forget that by our new ruler. And English law was introduced in India for good, better, or for worse, whatever it may be. And that's remained. And the influence of that law still continues. You mean the English statutory laws like criminal, Indian Penal Code, criminal, CRPC, CPC, etc. They were all composed by the Britishers in the 19th century. And they are very well-drafted statutes.
Right.
Indian Contract Act, Transfer Property Act, all 19th century compositions, drafted by eminent people. They did not require any amendment.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
For a long period, for more than 50, 60 years. So I am not against the law which was set up by the British people. For example, Indian Contract Act is admitted by British jurists to be better than English common law of contract. England did not have statutory law of contract. India had.
Right.
And that was supposed to be better than English common law.
So do you think it was the flaws that was in British during those time, which was realized by the jurist of our country, and then it was rectified by our jurist?
No.
Okay, sir.
English people, they introduced the English law, English system of court management
Right, sir.
in India.
Yes, sir.
And that was followed, and that is still being followed.
Right, sir.
This system of wearing a robe. Previously, judges used to wear a wig.
Right, sir.
I have seen criminal law judge on the Sessions Court
Right, sir.
wearing a wig.
So still today, if I am not wrong, in the oath-taking ceremony in our Honorable Calcutta High Court, I have seen the Chief Justice and other judges.
Yes,
Right, sir.
wear
Yes, sir.
that formality to give some importance to the judges.
Right, sir.
And that we are seeing forward. That is superficial.
Right,
I'm not on that. I'm on the core of the thing.
Right, sir.
Whether English procedural law is absolutely suitable for India.
Right, sir.
We have to now think, after 75 years of independence, whether that procedural law requires change according to the prevailing Indian atmosphere and Indian need. Should we still argue in a foreign language? Should we still make laws in foreign language or not? The difficulty for India is that in India I've got several languages. We cannot hardly think of any language in India which will be understood all over India.
Right, sir.
That's why English is an official language.
Right, sir.
And more or less that is understood all over India. When I said understood, please apply your mind. Understood by whom? Do the villages of India follow English language?
No, sir.
No.
Yes.
So some what you call little educated people, common language for people who have learned English.
Right, sir.
And our standard of literacy is knowledge of English.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
You know, Macaulay, when he came to India, he said that India is most civilized people, all of them are educated. Because all of them educated in their respective native language.
Right, sir.
Unless you know English, you are not supposed to be or taken to be an educated person.
Right, sir.
That system we must get rid of.
Right, sir. Right, sir. Right, sir.
Abul Kalam Azad, he was a highly educated person. He may have been a little weak in English, but you know, he was the first Indian who had a talk, who used to converse with Lord Mountbatten, the first governor,
Yes, sir.
in his own language, in Urdu.
Oh, okay, sir.
And it was highly expected the Governor General of India should know Indian language, or at least we should be able to speak in Indian language.
Right, sir.
That we didn't do.
Right, sir. So, followingly, I want to ask you, like what you said, there are, our country is we have 130 plus billion people now. Now, sir, so many people are facing this difficulty. Like, sir, me also in class 2, I had studied in Hindi medium school. So people like us are always struggling to get better into English language. Now, sir, now in High Court, in the Honorable High Court and in the tribunals also, and as well as the Supreme Court, not that much in the lower court, we have seen English is the only language, the way of communication to the judge. So, sir, what will be your suggestion for student like us?
You hardly scope for suggestion, my dear.
Right, sir.
You have to follow the language which will be the language of the court as per the legislation.
Right, sir.
It is not for you. You may clamor for introduction of your native language in court proceedings, but unless the legislature agree and make such law, we have to speak
Right, sir.
in English.
Yes, sir.
And I agree that your thought process, your clarity of expression
Yes, sir.
would have been much better if you were allowed to think
Right, sir.
and speak in your own mother tongue.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
This handicap you have to bear with
Need to improve, sir. Need to
until
work upon.
there's a legislative changes.
Right, sir. Right, sir. Right, sir. Sir, I want to know in the legal career, sir, who was your mentor and who, sir, if you can.
You know, in 1959, I came to bar, came back to Calcutta. System was this: you have to, after being called to bar, you have to undergo pupillage.
Okay, sir.
I mean, training in the chamber of
So
an
it was called pupillage.
pupillage, Pupilage.
Okay, sir.
I mean, training
Okay, sir. Pupillage. Yes, sir.
in the chamber of some
Seniors.
senior lawyer,
Right.
senior barrister or advocate, case may be, for a period of 1 year.
Achha.
It's not that after being called to bar, just getting the bar examination certificate, you are not let loose on the society. You have to undergo the period of training. Thereafter, you will be called to bar by a judge. A senior most puny judge sitting singly
Okay, sir.
will call you to the bar
Okay, sir.
and administer oath.
Acha.
I had to take oath,
Oh.
similar to judge's oath, in open courtroom from the senior most puny judge sitting singly, who was Justice P.B. Mukherjee.
Okay, sir. Okay,
And I still remember that happened in court number 8 of the High Court.
Okay, sir.
That's a system. You are taking oath, then you are eligible to practice on the original side of the High Court. Now this system was really affected by Advocates Act.
Okay, sir.
Advocates Act do not require this such thing. You have to register yourself as an advocate. So system was done away. That was system I was born with. And I think that was a very good system. At that time you had solicitors, attorneys, who used to prepare the brief.
So I think the oath, the way you used to take oath, that system has changed.
It has been done away with.
Totally demolished.
Totally demolished.
Right, sir. Sir. And
Discontinued. Let us put it
sorry, sir.
discontinued.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Yes, sir. Discontinued, sir. So, yes, sir. You were talking about solicitors and attorneys, sir.
Yes, solicitor, advocate, incorporated law society used to hold their own examinations for giving certificate of attorneyship.
Okay, sir.
Tough examination.
Okay, sir.
And they used to prepare brief and they could argue also in court in some matters.
Yes, sir.
Basically, there is a division of labor. One group of lawyers, namely the solicitors, who are also LLBs of some university, and has undergone a training by the Incorporated Law Society and got their certificate, will prepare the brief, which we call, still being called, as acting. Advocates were acting.
Acting.
And there's another group of advocates who do not act. They will only plead in court.
They appear before the court.
Yes.
Right, sir.
System and in England.
Same system, sir.
Same system.
Okay, sir.
Now, the scope of arena
Yes,
of
sir.
appearance by attorneys have
Yes, sir.
been extended from time to time.
Yes, sir. Right, sir.
But a pleading advocate, like me, I cannot take a client directly.
Right, sir.
If somebody comes to me, I have to refer him to some solicitor. Solicitor system in Calcutta has been discontinued. Therefore, we have now system of advocate on record. Advocate on record has taken the place of solicitors, attorneys. Unfortunately, the period of training, a 4 years period of training, with the attorneys had to undergo and get a certificate from ILS. That has been discontinued. So advocates on record are not so trained as were attorneys at law.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
That is a system discontinued, I think, to the detriment of developmental law.
So who was the first senior you worked with?
Mr. R.C. Dev, Ratindra Chandra Dev.
Okay, sir.
I was with him for a couple of years. Then he referred me to Mr. Somnath Chatterjee.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Ratindra was very senior at that time. He said that my name, that you are not getting the experience of drafting.
Yes, sir.
So you go to my junior, Somnath Chatterjee. And I went to him and I remained with him until I started
So
practicing.
initial learnings of the practicality of law you learned from Mr. Somnath Chatterjee.
Practical law, Rothindev law,
Yes.
and Somnath Chatterjee.
Okay, sir.
So in course of my chamber with Somnath Chatterjee, I got exposed to the legal high court, legal side, and had more opportunity to appear in court.
Okay, sir.
So, and there I developed myself as a lawyer, as a leading lawyer, and gradually I somehow established myself.
So what was the journey from being under a senior and then starting your own independent practice? How was that journey and how you began?
In those days when I joined the bar, our seniors told me, you wait, be ready to spare at least 5 years of your career to become an established lawyer on your own.
Independent practice.
Lawyer.
Right.
Second lesson all gave to us, please don't run after money.
Right, sir.
Wait. Time will come, will money run after you. It's a profession. It's a profession. There's a difference between profession and trade. A professional and trader. Traders start the trade with the object of earning money.
Right, sir.
But a professional lawyer should start his career with the object of learning the law. And when he knows the law and is in a position to deliver the law in practice in court, then money will run after him. Initially, don't run after money. It's absolutely a golden lesson which we gave. In other words, you don't become a trader from the beginning.
Yes.
You remain a professional and get the job satisfaction as a lawyer. Financial pleasure is a secondary benefit. That benefit will come to you when you have established or proved yourself as a worthy lawyer.
Sir, one day I was talking to my professor, and that time I was initially in my first year and I was starting to do internship. Like, if you know, sir, now we need to do internships. So he was telling ki, Sagar, you should keep one thing in mind. Your senior or the advocate should be dependable upon you. Like, dependability is a major quality of a lawyer. So
You are absolutely right. The third lesson we going to say, when you're a junior, make yourself indispensable to your chamber senior.
yes.
Then the solicitors, advocates who come to senior chamber, they will see that this young boy is indispensable. His senior is depending on him.
Right, sir.
So why not me? Why not us?
Right.
We start briefing him. That's how. It's a Aside once told me,
Yes.
calling my name, I can flood you with briefs, with my recommendations.
Right, sir.
But if I do that, that will spoil your career.
Right, sir.
One brief given to you by a solicitor, upon seeing your performance in my chamber, is worth more than 100 briefs recommended by me.
Yes, sir.
In other words, if you get pampered with the somebody's recommendation, then life is being mortal.
Yes.
When the senior, that person or such lawyer goes, you are you have become briefless.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
But if you have established yourself as a lawyer,
Right, sir.
certainly as a lawyer, but as a junior to Mr. Such and such, as a lawyer who has been taught law by Mr. Such and such.
Right, sir.
But you are basically you are a lawyer.
Right, sir.
You have been taught law in the chamber of somebody.
Right, sir.
That is your background. But the foremost qualification of yours, that you can deliver the goods
Right, sir.
on your own.
Right, sir. So I want to ask you, this is a personal experience for me. Like, sir, when I gave my final examination, it was CPC examination, Code of Civil Procedure. Now, sir, after that day, my internship began and I came in the court and my senior asked me, what exam you had yesterday? I said, sir, Code of Civil Procedure. Now, he asked me, okay, please tell me how we can, under which order there is execution. Now, sir, I read it. I written in examination also, but suddenly I don't know. But somehow I was not Yes, sir. I was not remembering. So, sir, what problem I face personally is in law school what we learn from the textbook, but the practical application is totally different. So, sir, how to for us? What will be your suggestion for a law student? It is.
By all law students, I want to tell them that your degree in law is nothing but a visa given to you to visit courts of law. Your real training starts after you get the law degree, and you remain a student of law all throughout of your career since your death, till your death.
Right.
Learning of law, what you call law in practice and everything, starts after you get the law degree. Your law degree just gives you a introduction, namely how to study the law. What are the subjects? Overall view of the law. Overall view will have to be nourished and developed with practical knowledge. So please remember that after graduating in law degree,
Sound record. Sir, please continue. Sir. Please continue. Yes, sir, please, sir.
degree,
Sound record.
your real training as a lawyer begins. And the first few years of your career as a lawyer will be very, very tough. If you want to be a genuine lawyer,
Yes, sir.
it is called a law is a jealous mistress. And it is more than true. To study, you have to work in your senior's chamber on your own 14 hours a day, 15 hours a day to begin with. You have to study, go from court to see how lawyers are arguing. So first few years very tough. But if any lawyer, I can assure, I think so, genuinely works hard, he is bound to be rewarded. I do not think that there is any lawyer who is briefless, who has worked hard. All lawyers who want to work hard and have worked hard will be awarded with briefs and work.
Right, sir. Right, sir. Sir, my second last question, sir, just the second last question. After that, sir, we will end. Sir, will be if you can suggest some literature, law literature, like some books of law to the young minds, which definitely a law student should read over the past years of experience. If you have come across such
That depends on what subject. On different subject of law has got different
like
textbooks.
autobiographies.
Outside law.
Yes, sir.
Biographies, sorry, what should I say all these things? That in biography in India, only the good things about the person is
Right,
said.
right, sir. Right, sir.
His feet of clay is not disclosed.
Right, sir.
He is sought to be made a god and kept on a pedestal of God. Result is, he this creates a distance, a gap
Yes, sir.
between that God and the readers and
Yes.
the lawyers, junior people. I would be much more happy if the biography come of a person which is all his good points and bad
Bad
points.
points, right, sir.
If I may use the Bengali expression, doshe gune মানুষ হয়।
Yes, sir.
তো কোর রবীন্দ্রনাথ পঞ্চমটা
Yes, sir.
যে আমারে লভিবারে চায় অসীম ক্ষমায় ভালো মন্দ মিলায় সকলই এবারে তাহারই পূজায় আপনারে দিতে চাই বলি।
Right, sir.
একটা মানুষকে তো তৈরি করে খালি হাত দিয়ে তোমার তার রক্ত মাংস তৈরি করতে,
Right, sir.
তার দোষগুণে পুরো একটা মানুষটাকে তৈরি করে।
Right, sir.
এবং that will encourage any lawyer. Tell you, when a lawyer will come to know that the person whose biography reading had initial failures,
Right, sir.
but that did not ultimately affect his career.
Right, sir.
He grew and became successful. That will be encouraging.
Right, sir.
You don't have to succeed on the first day in your court.
Right, sir.
You remember this thing that lawyers, the career is a long process
Right.
of learning.
Right, sir.
I am learning law even now,
Right, sir.
and don't think any lawyer can say, I know the law completely. That is possible. It's a growing subject.
Right, sir.
Law is a growing subject. It's called growing science, whatever you like. It will grow, adjusting itself with the social developments and social needs.
Right, sir.
And law must develop in accordance with change of circumstances in a country, in a society. Law is to deliver justice to the people of the time, and justice as it necessary and needed at that time.
Right, sir.
What was justice in 19th century
May not be.
may
the
not
same.
be justice in 21st century.
Right, sir.
Otherwise, society will become stagnant.
Right, sir.
Society must develop, country must develop, law must develop. Otherwise, law will become stagnant. So it's a growing subject. Lawyers' career is a perpetual studentship. It is studentship. Go on learning every day.
So thank you, sir. Sir, the last question will be, sir, like you have accomplished so much and you are such a stalwart in this career, sir. But what do you think, like the greater objective or the greater purpose of life, sir?
I don't like being stalwarts and those expressions. I don't think I deserve all this. But
It's your humbleness, sir.
but what do you mean that better perspective?
It's a better perspective of like better objective of like what do you think is the greater purpose of life,
Very,
sir?
very difficult question. As I told you, the first initial years, you have to be study wholeheartedly and you have to make lot of social sacrifices. Lot of. You have no time to attend your social programs.
Right, sir.
Something. You become all the time
Isolated.
absorbed in law
Yes, sir.
students. That sacrifice is very painful.
Right, sir.
When you attend or gain your foothold in a court of law, then you think in retrospect whether those sacrifices
Was
have been worth the
Right, sir.
life.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
If those sacrifices made by you, so ultimately helps you to make you happy with your family and all this, then it's worth it. You see, the sacrifice you will have to undergo rather, as a junior, has to be shared by your family, particularly your wife.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
And if you get an understanding companions in your social life, then ultimately both of you will realize that it's been 5 years of sacrifice has been worth it. Now we can both be happy
Right, sir.
with it. What the experience and wisdom or reputation you have gained in course of those sacrificial years.
Right, sir.
The reminiscence of different things are. And happiness in life is something not static.
Right, sir.
Happiness in life varies from person to person. It's difficult to say what makes a man happy.
Right, sir.
খ্যাপা খুঁজে ফেরে পরশ পাথর পড়ে কবিতা পড়েছ তো? এই পরশ পাথর যখন খ্যাপাকে সনাতন রূপসনাতন দিলেন, দেবার পর কাকা বলল এটাকে ঘুমতে ফেলে দিলেন। কি বললেন? যে গুণে হইয়া গুণী মনিরে মানো না মানি, সেইটা আমাকে দাও,
Right, sir.
হ্যাপি হওয়ার জন্য।
Right, sir.
যে ভেবেছিল পরশ পাথর পেলে আমি খুব হ্যাপি হয়ে যাব,
Right, sir. Right, sir.
পরশ পাথর পেয়ে দেখলো একে তো সনাতন একদম পাত্তাই দেয় না, ইগনোর করে। কাজে হ্যাপিনেস ভ্যারিজ ফ্রম পারসন। ঠিক আছে,
Sir, thank you so much,
Thank-
sir.
no,
আমরা
no.
তিনজনে মিলে আপনার জন্য একটা ছোট